Hi friends, it's Melanie Hobby again, and it's been a long while since I did a video, so I figured it was time. So today I'm gonna show you how to make an extremely delicious dessert. It is paleo, but I didn't say anything about it being good for you, okay? So don't hold it against me, but it is paleo. So what I'm making today is chocolate ganache dipped fried plantains. So what we're going to start with is showing you the fried plantains part, which is super duper easy. So all you do is you get a plantain that is plenty ripe, okay? It needs to look like this, where it has plenty of black spots on it, and it is ripe enough to where if you peel it, you can eat it just like you would eat a banana. That's how ripe it needs to be. It needs to be really soft. And I find that plantains are tricky whenever you're buying them at the store, because sometimes the yellow ones are still rock hard and you have to cut them thin and do chips, but some of the greener ones are soft enough to be fried plantains, so you have to feel them instead of look at them. So all I did is take it and chop it into little circles like that, and right now I have some coconut oil. I use the Luana brand, and that is on medium heat right now. It doesn't have to be super high, I have it on medium, and I'm just going to plop the plantains into the pot. That's it. And then you don't have to do anything weird like bread them, you just pop it straight into the pan, like that. I'm going to go ahead and cut the video while I go ahead and do that, and then I'll bring you back in to do the ganache with me, okay? See you in a second. Alright guys, so the plantains are nice and frying on the first side, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do a really great chocolate base for any time that you need dairy-free chocolate. This is the perfect thing to do. It works as a chocolate base in just about anything. Chocolate ganache, I even put it on a tray and put it in the fridge, and it gets hard and it becomes a chocolate bar. So all you have to do is get yourself a measuring cup, because why dirty an extra dish? And then you take your coconut oil and you measure a ½ cup of coconut oil straight into your mixing cup. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And it's okay if you're not exactly precise, but you measure it as close as you can and it'll work out. ½ cup-ish. And then as you can see, mine is still kind of thick and it isn't really melted, so what I'm going to do is put it in my microwave for just about 10-ish seconds. Maybe even less, maybe 8 seconds, but you do not want it to get hot because it'll ruin the chocolate later. I did that one time. I had hot oil and it just made a very dry, crumbly mess of the chocolate. It was awful. Trust me, you don't want to repeat my mistakes. So just like 8 or 9, maybe 10 seconds in the microwave. And if it got warm at all, like if you're feeling it right now and it's warm, which mine is a little bit, you have to let it cool down just a tiny touch, because you don't want it to be warm at all. In room temperature at about like 78 degrees, that's when it is liquid, and that's pretty much about where you want it, is right when it turns into a liquid. So that being said, we did ½ cup of coconut oil in our measuring cup. So now you get your really good natural organic cocoa powder, and you measure 1 cup of the cocoa powder. Or actually, I skipped a step. Look at me. So you add in 4 tablespoons of either honey, or if you're doing it vegan, agave. Okay, and so that is another liquid ingredient, so I'm going to go ahead and mix that in with my coconut oil. And it's just 4 tablespoons. If you want it to be less sugary, just add less honey. but it does help to hold it together a little bit as well, so it's up to you how much you want to reduce it by. You could do agave, you could do maple syrup, whatever your sweetener is, just in the same proportion. 2 tablespoons is 1/8 a cup, so it's 1/8 a cup to it's 1/4 a cup to 1/2 a cup to a full cup. Sorry, I was pouring and doing math in my head at the same time. But yeah, so just keep that ratio in mind, whatever sweetener you're using. There we go. Now what you need to do, because it's not going to want to emulsify your mix, so instead of heating, do not heat at all. This burner isn't on. See me touching it, sort of. And you don't want to heat it in any way to make it become an emulsion. So what you do is you just take a whisk and you whisk it together. And that will make it combine together. I made that mistake also my first time. I thought, oh no, it's not mixing together, so I heated it up, which created a hot product, which ruined my chocolate. So now that that's all whisked together, then we finally do the last step that I was talking about originally, of adding in your coconut powder. Now there's other ways to make a ganache if you go ahead and melt a prepared product like Enjoy Life chocolate chips that are also dairy-free. But this is making it out of cocoa powder, which is what I tend to have around the house more than Enjoy Life chocolate chips or anything else. So it's a full cup, and you stir it in, being sure to make a huge mess like God intended, just a little bit at a time. Now the other thing is you don't want to completely overmix the mixture either, because what should happen is it should become a glossy chocolate mix, and I'll show you that pretty much right now because we are almost done. I really want you to see. See how that's nice and glossy? That's how it should look. If it is too dry looking, or if it's too hard or whatever, then you either stirred it too much or got the proportions wrong. But see, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? A beautiful base, a chocolate base for a ganache. And all I do is just line a tray that I have in my toaster oven with some parchment paper, and I pour it on top of it, and then you can put whatever toppings you like onto it. You can put nuts if you can do nuts, or you can do, I do sea salt, like I just sprinkle a fine layer on top. You can do like goji berries, you can do pumpkin seeds, whatever you want, just layered in or on top of it, and there you go. You have basically your own homemade chocolate candy bar. Now because the oil in it isn't cocoa butter, it's coconut oil, once it comes back to like above room temperature, it's gonna melt. So you can't like toss it in your purse and be like, oh, I have a candy bar for later, unless you use a different kind of fat, because coconut oil will make it melt. But as long as it's refrigerated, then you're totally fine. You have all the candy bar that you could want that you made at home. So now we're literally just waiting for these babies to keep frying. They're pretty good on one side, and all I'm going to do is just toss them, and I'll be back with you again in a second. See you soon. Are you guys back already? I was having fun doing selfie time. Selfie time. So we are just about ready to take these off of the oven. Look at how nice and brown they are. Now let me tell you, you can get these babies even black, and they will be okay. That's just caramelizing those sugars on the inside even more. But I have my plate ready here with some paper towels on top of it to absorb up some of that oil, because you want them to be at a cooled temperature again and not super oily when you're dipping it into that fine ganache. You want it to be a nice sweet dessert, not an oily, drippy mess. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to put them on this paper towel here and get them to cool off and dry out a little bit. See you soon. Now while I'm dragging these out, I'm going to tell you something. Usually whenever I'm putting them over here on the napkin to absorb the grease, that's usually the same time that I'm grabbing some salt and salting these babies. I'm not doing it with all of them because obviously we're making our chocolate covered ones today, but I am going to do them with a few of them because as soon as they cool off, I am eating them because they are so good. But yeah, you just keep going, grabbing them, putting them on your little paper towel, absorbing that oil, salting as you go. Because I am a salt girl. As much as I love my sugars, and my friends know I'm constantly talking about cookies and muffins and cakes, at the end of the day, I think I am definitely a salt girl. I love it. All the hardcore vegans are cringing a little bit right now, but that's okay. I love you guys. Making a vegan meal, just adding some salt to it. And you can see how some of them, like this guy right here, they're really black, and some are lighter. I mean, that's not a big deal. It's whatever. But like I said before, I mean, you can burn the heck out of these, and they will still taste okay. It'll taste like, you know when you burn a marshmallow when you're at a camp cookout, but you eat the marshmallow anyway because it's still sugary even though it's burnt to a crisp? It's the same thing. You're either just burning the sugars or caramelizing them or, you know, whatever you gotta do. So there it is, the beautiful plantains, nice and fried, absorbing some of the oil out of them again. And yeah, so now all that's left, I have my prepared tray right here. Like I said, just a little one that goes in the toaster oven with a piece of parchment paper on it. And all you do is just take them, dip them in your nice ooey gooey creamy ganache base that we made earlier, put it on the tray, and then keep it in the fridge until you snarf them all down. Hopefully not all tonight. Melanie. Cough. So I'll come back and show you the last step, but it's not rocket science. You got it. I'll see you in a second. What's that you say? What? You're saying there's a couple spots missing and I have some chocolate on my face? You're crazy. What are you talking about? No, that's not true. So anyways, yeah, you pick up your done plantain, dip it in your ganache, and then set it all nice on your little tray. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Let's move on to the next one, shall we? A dip, wipe, place. There. It's as easy as that. And I tell you what, this is the way to do it, dairy-free and corn-free for your anniversary or someone's birthday who loves their chocolate. Just do it from a straight, plain, organic chocolate, or probably even carob powder if you're totally against chocolate for whatever reason. But this is dairy-free, nut-free, corn-free, everything except for delicious wholesomeness free. And oh yeah, doesn't that look fancy? So fancy! Fried plantains in the chocolate, nom nom. You guys are not getting any. I'm not saving any for you, so don't even ask me. I'm proud of myself that they have lasted this long. What? What's that? You saw spots missing? Okay, well, maybe I had a couple. Alright guys, that's it. It's been fun making one of my favorite chocolate desserts with you. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. But you know this was an awesome dessert, so go ahead and share it with your friends. Tell everybody all about it, and they can start enjoying it too. Remember, you could do it with all kinds of fruits and everything. That chocolate ganache is good for everything. Alright? You're welcome. Have a great day. Later, friends. Love ya. Bye.